Namaste, yogis. Welcome back. This video is in response to many requests from you guys asking for another yoga video. A few videos ago, I did a kind of quickie yoga sequence and meditation for when you're busy. So this is not going to be as quick a yoga workout or yoga practice, but still not an hour long. Again, you don't need an hour's time on your mat to benefit. But I hope you like this video, and we will begin just by coming to your comfortable seated position in easy pose. Maybe sitting on a block or on a rolled up mat. Let's take our palms to face down on the back of our knees. Close your eyes. And draw those shoulders back and down. As you root into the sit bones, feel the spine and crown of the head lengthen up to the sky. And then begin to tune into your breath. Letting the jaw stay soft. Letting the thoughts of the day go. And just coming into the space of the room. And as thoughts come into your mind, as they will, just let them drift by. Taking that awareness back to the breath and back to the moment. On your next exhale, gently allow the chin to tip towards the chest, letting the muscles in the face soften. And then roll the right ear up to the right shoulder. Let the left ear face the sky. Keep that spine long, shoulders back and down. And the chin rolls back down to the chest. And the left ear rolls to the left shoulder. The right ear to the sky, the spine is long, shoulders back and down. And the chin rolls back down to the chest. And then taking the head center, sitting up nice and tall. On an inhale, take the arms up and overhead, lengthening through the spine. On the exhale, twist to the right. Right hand behind you, left hand outside of right knee. Again, maintaining that long spine, twisting towards the back wall. Neck is long, gaze is soft and sleepy, or eyes are closed. On your next inhale, turn back to face forward, arms lift up. And then twist to the left, exhale. Turning to the back wall. Spine and neck stay long. Gaze is soft and sleepy, or eyes are closed. And then turn back to face forward. Arms come up, inhale. Bring the right hand to the mat. The left arm pulls over. Lengthening through the fingers, rooting down into the left sit bone. Create lots of space through the left side body. On your next inhale, take both arms overhead. And then switch sides, left hand down, right arm pulls over, lengthening and stretching through the right side body. On the next inhale, both arms come up, and then big arms, exhale. And then roll those shoulders back. And then letting those legs come out straight in front of you. Finding your sit bones here. That spine is nice and long. On an inhale, lift and lengthen. And then extend forward, exhale. And allow your hands to touch down on your mat as far as you can reach. And then I want you to look down. And if your head is beyond your knees, you can begin to bring the head closer to the legs. If your head is not beyond the knees, I want you to continue gazing towards the toes. So you're not rounding the back here, but you're reaching the heart forward. Because if we're rounding, we're not getting any length into the hamstrings and the glutes. We're just really compressing into those vertebrae. So we want to create length through the back of the legs. Allow your toes to come back towards your forehead. Allow the shoulders and the jaw to soften. And then breathe here, full breaths. And then one more full inhale here. And slowly roll up on the exhale. And shoulders roll back, bounce out the legs. And let's make our way into table posture. Hands and knees, spreading those fingers nice and wide. And warming up here in cow-cat. Inhale to cow, belly down, eyes and glutes up. Soften the belly here. And then round to cat, press down, chin to chest, belly in. Flow back to cow, inhale, reach the heart forward. Round to cat, exhale, press into the earth. One more time, inhale. And exhale, round. And then bring it to a nice neutral spine. Again, fingers wide, hands under the shoulders. Moving into balancing table. Reach that right arm forward with the thumb to the sky, pinky to the earth, and the left leg back. Flexing through the left foot. Let your toes reach for the earth and lengthen through the back sole of the foot and the front fingers. You can keep your gaze on the mat underneath you or over that right hand. Reaching long, take an inhale. Elbow to knee, exhale, take your time here. Inhale to lengthen out arm and leg. Exhale, elbow to knee, hollow the belly. One more time, inhale to lengthen. And exhale, hold here, press into left hand. Last time, inhale to lengthen. And then back to table, exhale. Right fingers spread wide, right underneath the shoulder. Rooting into right hand, left arm forward, thumb to the sky, pinky the earth, right leg back. Again, reaching the right toes to the earth, lengthening back through the sole of the foot. Make sure you're not hunching shoulders around your ears here. Keep the neck long. On an inhale, lengthen out through fingers and sole of the foot. Exhale, rounds, knee to elbow. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, scoop out the belly. One more, inhale. And exhale, hold. Press into right hand, round the spine. And an inhale to lengthen. And then back down to table, exhale. Let's separate the knees to the widest part of the mat here and take a child's pose, letting those sit bones reach as far back onto the heels as possible. Let's keep our hands about shoulder distance apart. Let your forehead rest on the mat and close your eyes here and just soften and breathe. Relaxing the jaw, letting the body come to stillness. And remember, throughout any practice, any class, child's pose is always available to you if you need a rest. Take one more breath here. And then shift forward, bring it back to table. Spreading fingers wide, reach your feet to the back of the mat, coming to a plank pose, push-up position. Pressing into the earth, gazing at the top edge of the mat. Move your feet all the way together. Fingers spread as wide as possible. They're creating your foundation for balance. We're moving to a side plank. So if you want to modify, bring that left knee down. Otherwise, flexing the feet, rolling to the left, Take the right arm to the sky. So the hips lift up, the belly pulls in, reach the arms in opposite directions, maybe looking up at the top hand. And just keep breathing here. One more inhale. Hand comes back down, exhale, holding plank pose. And if you need a little rest here, go ahead and put those knees down into a modified plank. Again, with the legs all the way together, your right fingers spread wide. If you're modifying side plank, the right knee comes down. Otherwise, flex the feet, stack them, rolling to the right, left arm to the sky. Reaching the arms in opposite directions, lifting the hips, belly in. And take one more breath here. And take it back to plank, exhale. Again, maybe the knees come down if you need a little rest. Maybe shifting back to a child's pose. If you feel pretty good to carry on, with those fingers spread wide, tuck your toes under, come to down dog. And go ahead and pedal out your feet in down dog, warming up the low body. Bending, straightening the knees. Let that breath flow. And then separate your feet here, hip distance apart. Glutes lifting up and back, heels sinking towards the earth. On an inhale, stretch those hips back, let the head go, gaze at the navel. And exhale, walk the hands back to the feet. And when you get there, separate your feet about hip distance apart, soften the knees, and maybe sway a little side to side or clasp opposite elbows. Just a nice easy ragdoll. Breathing, soft gaze. And then release the arms, give the head a shake. And slowly roll up. Keep those knees nice and soft. Big shoulder rolls back at the top. And then make your way towards the top of your mat. And yogis, I know you can't fully see me when I'm standing up on my mat, but I'm sure you can imagine what it's like when I'm standing. Maybe if I move this back a touch. So a little bit of space, top of the mat, a little bit of space between your feet. Take your hands to prayer. Close your eyes here. We're going to begin with just some nice flowy sun salutations. Bringing your arms down by your sides into mountain pose. On your next inhale, big arms lift up. Lengthen the spine, maybe a little arch at the top. And then collapse to forward bend. Exhale, take the nose to the legs. Soften through the back of the neck. On an inhale, halfway lift, gazing towards the horizon. Lunge the right leg all the way back. Exhale, drop the back knee, point the back toe. On an inhale, lift up to low lunge, maybe arching back. Hands float back down. Exhale, tuck the back toe, down dog. Exhale. Rooting into the hands, separating sit bones, reaching them to the back wall. On an inhale, stretch those hips back. Seaweed to plank. Exhale, lower down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, elbows tight to the body. Point toes, wave up to just a baby cobra. So right here, pull the elbows tight to the body, reach the heart forward. Exhale, lower. Maybe come a little higher. Inhale, peel up, press into the hands, shoulders back. Exhale, knit back down. Now cobra or up dog. Inhale as high as it's right for you. Knit back down, down dog. Exhale. Spread the fingers wide, gaze towards the navel. Hollow the belly. One more inhale to stretch the hips back. Eyes look forward, step or hop forward. Back to forward bend, nose to legs. Halfway lift, inhale, gaze at the horizon. Exhale, fold. Soft knees, roll up. Lift the arms, inhale. Collapse to forward bend, exhale, nose to legs. Halfway lift, inhale, gaze at the horizon. Lunge the left leg all the way back and drop the back knee. On an inhale, float the arms up, maybe arching back. Hands come down, exhale, tuck the back toe, down dog. Separate fingers wide. Yogis, take a great big inhale through the nose. Open the mouth side out. Stretch those hips back, inhale. Seaweed forward to plank, exhale, lower. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Point toes, cobra or up dog. Inhale, shoulders back and down. Knit back down, tuck toes, down dog. Exhale. Fingers spread wide. On your next inhale, stretch the hips back. Eyes look forward, step or hop forward, back to forward bend, lengthen the spine. Halfway lift, inhale, gaze at the horizon, exhale, fold. Bend your knees and tip up to seated chair. And let's take parallel arms here. So with your arms parallel, make sure the knees stay over the toes. The belly's pulled back, the neck stays nice and long. And just focus on your breath. Letting the jaw stay soft, keeping the weight back into the heels. And then go 1 inch lower. Take one more inhale. And then forward bend, exhale, bring the nose to the legs. Halfway lift, inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, fold. Soft knees, roll up. Lift the arms, inhale. Big arms to mountain, exhale. Close your eyes here for a moment. And just allow your body and breath to be present. Allow that prana to flow through you, that energy. And then taking your hands back to prayer, view of me here. So for balance, you have an option. We're all going to start by standing on our left leg, pressing that left foot into the floor. Take the right knee into the chest and hold on to kind of down by the shin, clasping those fingers around the knee if you can. And you can stay here if this is kind of challenging enough. Finding that not moving spot to look at, your drishti, pressing strong into the standing foot, but keep a micro bend in that knee. And again, you can stay here if this is enough. If you want more, we're going to move to hand to extended big toe pose. So taking the right fingertips, peace fingers and thumb, grab the big toe. Before you even straighten the leg, press strong into the standing foot. Try to get as tall as you can. And then if you want to move on, extend that leg. So you can keep the leg forward here, or maybe swing it out to the side, in which case this becomes a hip opener. So using that opposite arm to counterbalance, you can reach to the side wall, you can reach to the sky. Soft breath. And I said in my classes this week, when we were doing half moon pose, if you fall out of a pose, it just means you're human. Allow yourself to be human and to fall and to not be perfect, because nobody is. We'll take one more breath here. And as gently as you can, release and come back to center. And maybe swinging out that body a little bit. Just do whatever feels good for you. And then taking those feet back underneath you, taking your hands back to prayer. Just find quiet and stillness in your body. Find smoothness in your breath. And find your drishti, not moving spot for balance on the other side. So this time we're standing on our right leg. Push into that right foot. Taking the left knee, clasping around the shin. Pulling that knee as high as you can, pressing into the standing foot. Microbend in the standing knee. And again, let the body be still and tall. Make sure the breath is smooth. So you can stay here if this is enough for you. If you're moving on to hand to extended big toe pose, your left peace fingers thumb, grab the big toe. Again, get really tall here in your torso before you even think about straightening that leg. And then if you feel like you still want to, straighten the leg. You can keep the leg facing forward, or maybe swing it out to the side, again using the other arm to counterbalance, reaching to the side wall or maybe to the sky. And this is, again, a hip opener as we swing that leg out. Breathing here, finding stillness and strength and softness at the same time. Soften through the gaze and the jaw. And one more breath wherever you are here. And then slowly, as much as you can, control back to stand. And then swing it out. Just work out your body and stretch. And do whatever feels good here. And then whenever you're ready, move back towards the top of your mat. Little bit of space between your feet. Little bit of space. Top of the mat, take those hands back to prayer. Close your eyes. Again, taking those arms down by your sides into mountain pose. On an inhale, arms lift up, lengthen through the spine. And then exhale, collapse to forward bend, nose to legs. Lunge that right leg all the way back. Long runner stretch here. Let that right hip flexor sink towards the earth. That should feel pretty good on it. Turn your back foot flat and cartwheel up to Warrior Two. So in Warrior Two, we open our hips to the side wall. They're starting going to that right front corner, but we want to open. And at the same time, keep that front knee pressing over the pinky edge of the foot. Anchor down strong into that back edge of the back foot, lunging into that left knee, gazing softly over the left fingertips. Breathing here. Flip the left palm on an inhale to reverse warrior, lifting, reaching through the fingers, expanding through the rib cage, and very little pressure in the back hand. Take an inhale here, and then exhale back to Warrior Two. Straighten the front leg, inhale, moving to triangle pose, reach forward, and then take the hand to the shin and the top arm to the sky. So pulling the glutes underneath you, lengthen in opposite directions. That front leg is straight, but there's a micro bend in the knee, And tighten this front quad. That'll help to protect the knee. Take one more inhale here. Bring it back up tall. Exhale. Lunge back to warrior two. Stay nice and low here. One more inhale here. And then cartwheel your hands down. Exhale to the inside of that knee. And then drop the back knee and point the back toe. So we're not going to hold lizard for too long. And I'm keeping my foot where it is. I didn't wiggle it to that outer edge of the mat the way I usually do. So I want you to stay right here. Just let those hips sink forward. And then crawl your hands off the right edge of your mat and angle them to the right front corner of the room. And if this feels okay for you, maybe you want to go a little deeper. Take your forearms to a block or maybe even the mat or the floor. So you should be off the edge of your mat. And there's a lot going on here. This is a pretty great hip stretch. I may actually do this in the routine that you guys will see, not next week because I'll be in Hawaii, but the week I come back. So here's a little preview. So just like with many and most kind of intense poses, it's equal parts effort and equal parts surrender. So I want you to really surrender here. Try to find some softness. Try to find full breaths. And take one more full breath here. Make sure those shoulders are away from the ears. And then crawl those hands back up. And bring them back onto your mat. Tuck your back toe under. And then I want you to swing your body around to straddle the side of your mat facing that right side wall. And square off your feet to face forward. Make sure they're not tipped out to the sides. On an inhale, do a halfway lift here, reaching that heart forward. And then exhale, let the crown of the head come to the earth and the glutes to the sky. So you'll see how my head is touching the floor. If that's happening for you, wiggle those feet closer together. And then again, lengthen crown of the head to the earth. And press into those hands, almost pulling your head underneath you if possible. And try to keep the legs straight, the sit bones reaching to the sky, and the weight centered on your feet. On an inhale, do a halfway lift again. Inhale, reach the heart forward. And then exhale, just soften a bit. If you walked the feet in, separate them. Take your right toes, face them towards the back wall. Lunging into that right leg, cartwheel the arms up and come to a warrior two this way. So again, we're opening the hips to the side wall, making sure this front knee is over the right edge of the pinky toe, reaching through the fingertips, gazing over the right fingers. Strong press into the outer edge of the back foot. Lunging deeply, flip the right palm, and a slow lift to reverse warrior. And again, right here, you don't have to lift too high. If you're lifting up, stay deep into the lunge, expand through the right side rib cage. Very little pressure backhand. One more inhale here. And then back to warrior two, exhale. Nice. On an inhale, straighten the front leg. Reach forward, exhale, coming to triangle. Hand to the front shin, left arm to the sky. And again, pulling the glutes underneath you, and think of spiraling your bottom rib cage up towards the sky. Staying strong in both feet, micro bend in that front knee. One more inhale here. Lift back up tall, exhale. Lunge back into that forward leg to warrior two. Take an inhale here. Cartwheel hands down, exhale. And again, the hands are to the inside of that knee. So I'm going to face you. My dog is in her bed right here. So again, we're in that long runner's stretch. My hands are to the inside of my right knee. And I'm not wiggling that right foot out to the corner of the mat. I'm staying right here. Drop the back knee, point the back toe. And again, I want you to walk your hands off the left side of the mat, angling the fingertips to the left back corner of the room. And you may be just feeling this pretty intensely right here, so stay here. If you want more and your body is able to do that, maybe forearms to a block or to a mat, or even a blanket if you're at home, a little bit of a lift in between the block and the floor. And again, surrender and soften a bit here. Make sure those shoulders are not hunched around the ears. Keeping that breath really smooth. Allowing your body to release any tension here, any resistance. And take one more full breath here. And crawling those hands back up. Taking the hands back to facing center. Tuck the back toe under. Kick to a down dog. And just pedal out those feet. Work out the legs a little bit. Maybe give them a couple of kicks. Whatever feels good for you. And then come to a nice long down dog here, stretching those hips back, gazing towards the navel. And the knees come down, exhale. So put the knees down, keep your toes tucked under, and come to sit back onto your heels. And you can take your hands to your quads, you can take your hands to prayer. Close your eyes here for a moment, and I want you to try to get the whole line of your toes, from your big toe to your baby toe, resting on the mat. And this is just a great stretch into the back of your feet. And this may be really intense for some people. So if it's too intense, of course, just come out. But this is so good for your feet, just stretching. Take one more breath here. And then bring your hands down to the mat. Uncurl the toes, let the feet come flat, and make your way to child's pose. Letting your forehead rest on the mat. And yogis, when you're in child's pose, I always encourage you to take a child's pose that speaks to what your body needs. So maybe the knees are all the way together, if you're looking for more of an opening into your back body, or the knees are apart if you're looking for more of an opening into the hips. So choose what child's pose speaks to what your body needs at the moment, and close your eyes. Remember, if those knees are together, your forehead will be further from the mat, so maybe even stacking your hands and resting your forehead there, or resting your forehead on a block, so it's not such a far reach for your neck. Drawing that awareness within. Allow the body and mind to become quiet and still. And allow the breath to become smooth and even. And take one more breath here. And moving your hands by your knees, press up. And make your way to a seated position on your mat. So maybe take a sip of water. Make your way to your easy pose, the pose that we started class with. And find that tall seated position here. And we're just going to go into an easy seated spinal twist as we begin to cool down. So with that tall spine, on an inhale, reach that right arm to the sky. Take the hand behind you, exhale. And the left hand opposite side of the knee. And just think of twisting to the side wall for now. Don't go all the way to the back wall. Again, we're cooling it down, taking it easy. Shoulders soft, belly and jaw soft. And try to turn that head a little bit further around. Remembering we get the most twist out of our cervical spine, that's into the neck area. And we'll take one more breath here. And then turn back to face forward. And let's switch our leg position here. So just noticing what leg is in front, straighten those legs, give them a bounce. And then we'll switch, taking the opposite leg in front. Finding evenness through the sit bones. Again, a nice tall spine. On an inhale, reach the left arm to the sky, lengthen. Hand behind you, exhale. And take the opposite hand to the outside of the knee, twisting just to the side wall. Again, letting that spine be long. The belly is soft. See if the gaze can turn more towards the back wall. Again, getting that most amount of twist out of our cervical spine. And then one more breath here. And slowly make your way back to center. Straighten out those legs. Give them a bounce. And then in your own way, make your way onto your mat, slowly taking your time to lower down. Whatever that looks like for your body. And when your body is completely flat, a great big exhale here. And giving your head a gentle rock side to side. Closing your eyes, making your way to corpse pose. So separate your legs, mat distance apart. Allow your toes to tip out to the right and the left walls. Arms by your sides, palms face up. And the shoulder blades tucked underneath you. With the eyes closed, soften your entire body. Separate your lips slightly. Allow the tongue to release from the roof of your mouth. And notice the breath, smooth, even, and effortless through the nose. Breathe. The most important part of your practice is your breath. I say that so often during class, but is also the Savasana, this time at the end of class where we honor our body, where we thank our body for the work it's done for us. Take a few moments here in gratitude. First, being grateful to yourself for showing up on your mat today, for honoring your practice, honoring self-care. That's so important. And then recall the people and things in your life you are grateful for. And not only the wonderful people and things, but also the challenges and the hardships that cause us to grow and evolve and hold real lessons behind them. Yogis, I invite you to stay in Savasana for as long as it feels right for you. Before you choose to end your practice, take your time, eventually making your way to your seated easy pose, where your hands come back to prayer and you bow your head. Namaste.